Motormouth Jenkins here, welcoming you to our brand new YouTube channel. Hope that you'll come back and see every segment each and every week, and I will share preventative maintenance tips and regularly scheduled maintenance tips for your car. So whether you know a little bit about your car or absolutely nothing, this is the channel just for you, where I share over 35 years of experience as a qualified and licensed service technician with truck and coach, light truck and passenger vehicles. Come back and visit us and tell your friends, and we'll see you each and every week right here in the Car Connection Workshop on YouTube. Nurse. Oh, hi, friends. Thank you for stopping by to this week's Car Connection Workshop. We've got some stuff to get through today. Your host every segment, Niall Motormouth Jenkins here. We have some stuff on the go, so we're going to move as fast as we can, but without missing a single drop. That's right. Not a single drop. We're building the Driveshaft for the Jeep TJ. Everything is coming together on that very, very quickly. So I'm going to show you what I could not even find online. So maybe we're the first ones to do it. I don't know. Anyways, this front drive shaft and all the online, what's going on here? Information and knowledge. Not one person could tell me, how to simply just remove the slip yoke from a drive shaft. I've had four-wheel drives all my life. In fact, you're going to get to see the Bro coming up this summer. You're going to like that one. That's my third Bro, and we've done some unique stuff with that. So drive shafts, I've had four-wheel drives for years. So nobody could tell me how to get this off, just that we should just go and buy a YE drive shaft, a yoke eliminator drive shaft for $830 American. Not gonna happen. So we made a puller, and Charlie, my good friend, I took it out to the farm, and Charlie built up a puller, and we worked on it together. The yoke is off. I took it to the machine shop, had it all glass beaded all the way down inside to clean up the threads, splines actually, if you really want to know, splines. And then I just want to show you this. Stay there. I'll be right back, because you need to know this. These are called spline files. So my friend Charlie had a whole package of them, different sizes, and I used this. See how it's square? All the sides are square, and you take that and you go in to each thread, and you just gently file it out both sides, and then move to the next one. And let me show you the results. You're gonna this is unbelievable. Unbelievable, I tell you. And this saves, it saves $1,000 just like that. Because you know what? I've been in this trade. I've been licensed since 1988. I've been in mechanics since I was 13, and I'm not as old as dirt, but old as a worm anyway. And so let me show you what we've achieved. This thing was stuck on here. Okay, just so you know, zoom in on this, Skippy. Yes, I've marked my shaft, guys. There's my spline. And I've marked the yoke, guys. There's my spline. And I also peened it. So when we glass beaded it, my little peens showed up. So that's where I need to put it on the shaft. Watch this. $830 or by hand, fellas. By hand. Watch. Whoop. By hand. Going down all by itself. I just say, this cost all together, I want to say, getting the glass beading done, I added it all up. Glass beading, plus a new boot, plus a U-joint, $75. You saw it here in the Car Connection Workshop. That's how I do things. I don't do Chinsky things But there's always a way around it. And how I learned that was being sent out in the field with a trunk full of tools and had to go and get a piece of equipment going so they could get it out of the field where it is, wherever it's working, to the roadway so we could get it back to the shop. You get in there, it's your job to get that baby going. So what caused this yoke to be seized in the first place? Well, this boot goes right here, and look, it's wide open. And that's what caused this yoke to seize. This area was red, rusted, and rougher than a stucco toilet seat. And it was seized on there, so we just had to get it off. And then I used the same file to clean the teeth as well here, and made sure that it was nice and smooth, and just put a little bit of lube on there. And it does have a master spline, but I marked it anyway because you need to make sure you put it back together. And here we go. But the whole reason this shaft failed, the boot was wide open. This should be full of grease, and you're going to get a chance to see how this whole thing comes together. I had drilled a hole in the back here so I could get some rust break free product in there, and soaked it. So now that we're done, I've put a rubber plug in that hole, and just to make sure that I don't have any leakage here, because here's what you have going on. You got the yoke longer, shorter as the vehicle's wheels move up and down. So that's why it needs a shaft that can become shorter and longer. So since I drilled this open, I got to seal it. So I put a nice plug in there with a lip on it, a ridge, and then I've put RTV Ultra Black on it, because two things: I don't want any grease coming out, and I certainly don't want any water going in. All right, so next. I love that sound. Loving that sound. So $75. That's it. But that's what caused the shaft. Lack of maintenance. The boot was wide open. You can see there hasn't been any grease in there since Moses' sandals. Then I use this. It's a little sanding wheel. And what I do is, when I'm doing U-joints, is I clean this out and I clean this edge out. And I usually use a pick. I just use a pick to get into that groove, because that's where the lock's going to go. Clean those locks, make sure they're clean all the way out. I did do a little bit of damage here pressing it out, so I used a file to take the edge off, but then I just take my little sander, see how that works in there, and just clean those up. Don't want to take any metal material off, just clean them up nice and shiny like that. So this is ready for a U-joint to go on. So now I'm going to walk you through. We're going to put the boot on together while you're here. Lock the door. Somebody took my cloth. Oh, crisis averted. So what I do is I take a little bit of, you can use brake parts cleaner, you can use lacquer thinner, whatever you feel like, and I'm just going to wipe this bottom edge so that it's not greasy, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, and you can lock the shaft into the vise. Just don't crush hard on the tube, because if you buckle the tubes, you've got a drive shaft that's it's not balanced anymore. You've destroyed the balance, and that's huge, because it'll shake your molars right out of your head, trust me. All right, so first things first, I got this Spicer name brand right off the Jungle website. $20. Look at that, perfect match. Perfect match. So what we're going to do is, I've already put some goober in there because I had some on my fingers. I don't waste anything. Almost using both sides of the toilet paper, but not quite. Okay, so it comes with a grease pack and comes with clamps and everything. So it's a whole kit. I love Spicer products. They don't sponsor the show, but I put a lot of Spicer products in when I worked in the trucking industry and with my own shop. Good product line, very good product line. So here's what I do. I get my spooge, push it down in the bag, push it all down like that. Nice, nice. Okay, push it down. Okay, and I'll be right back. And I'm just going to grab the pair of scissors from, here they are, found it. Yippee! Skippy peanut butter. You know, Skippy peanut butter does make really good peanut butter cookies. I have to say, out of all the products I use, I bake. Yes, I bake. Okay, so I just cut the corner off. That's all. And you'll see why in a minute. Next, do not forget to put the clamp first. Hello, clamp. Don't forget, because it'll really tick you off. It will. And make sure you don't install this backwards. All right, so I'm going to go over. Help me. I'm going to go over the shaft. Okay. All right. Hang on. I got a better idea. Watch this. And now for something completely different. All right. It's slippery. Oh, and I need one more set of tools here. Right here. Yeah, right here. My clamp tools. This is a really cool setup. This gig right here. Your best friend when it comes to squeezy clamps. So I will just use this and fetch this down in here as far as I can. Let's see if I can squeeze that open a bit. Help me out. You know, sometimes they go right away, and sometimes they just test your patience. Kind of like people. Just get that over. Once you get it started, your happy day. Say hallelujah. Winner, winner. I'm a spinner. Got it. Hoo-yah. Hoo-ah! Rawhide. Now I get your clampy up there. The jed. I call those jed, as in clamp it. Got it? Okay, so you can face the clamps one direction, or some guys like to stagger them. One on one side, one on the other. It doesn't matter really that much. I usually put one on one side, one on the other. But today, I'm feeling extra special. So I'm just going to put one on one side, one on the other. Now check out these pliers. These are for handling those squeezy clamps. For many years I used my side cutters, and you can't really always get a really good squeeze on it. These are built to do the job, and if you're doing really big ones, that's the guy calling me back that I told him not to call me back, but he's calling me back. Instructions. You know, I remember all the exams I wrote, and it would say, read everything before doing anything. Okay, so you get that clamp, these pliers, you gotta get a set of these pliers. Made in USA. And you get that on there, and I'll tell you what, you will do a perfect squeeze every time. Squeeze it to please it. Look at that. And just a hair bit more. And Nilo's happy. Because when Nilo's happy, the whole world spins better. Okay, so now what? I knew you'd ask. So we have to make sure. You probably said, well, now you don't know where your mark is. Yes, I do. It's right there. So what am I going to do next? Get your clamp on there right now. Okay? Now, get your yoke on there right now. Okay? My mark, because we want to make sure the drive shaft is phased. And we're going to talk about that word a little bit more in just a bit here. So we want that lined up to our mark right there. Shicklink! It's in. So I can now pull this back because I'm ready, set to go. Now, watch this little trick, babies. Push your goo over to the opposite side. Now, in anything I do, if you do it differently, I may entertain that if you wish to share it, but please don't get your feelings hurt if I really don't care. Because you can do it any way you want to do it, but if this works and gives you some good ideas, you know what? This is the way I do it. It's the way I've taught. So take your ear. It's almost like making cake flours. Get it down in there, and you're going to push that right in. And you know what? You won't be wearing it. That's the key. So I'm going to push that. I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to get whatever you need, whatever you want to use. Get a spatula out of the kitchen, but make sure you wash it off and nobody sees you take it. Otherwise, someone's going to pay a price. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted a flat one. So what I'm going to do is, I just want to push that grease down so I can get some more in there. That's all I'm going to do is I'm just going to push down and get it to go down as much as I possibly can, because I pretty much want that bag in there. So, but you got to remember, this is ribbed, so you might have to you got to push it. You got to really push it. So this is where, you know what, getting it done faster is not best. So I can now get some more in there and keep the mess down to a minimum. Don't forget which end you're squeezing from, because otherwise you're pressing and you're putting it all over yourself. Yeah, so then I just get that in my hand like a ball, and I'm going to push that right down in there, and I'm going to push that grease in. See how that's pushing itself in? So just get that corner right down in there, push it in, push it good. Get that grease, like again said, take your time here. You want as much grease in there as possible, because this is what was the cause in the first place. You know, and I got to say this, every single thing that I have fixed so far on this Jeep I rescued from the crusher has all been maintenance not done. Maintenance that somebody's, you know what? You can keep a vehicle as long as you want if you're willing to take care of it. And I tell people this, if this were a bulldozer that I'm working on that makes me my living, how important to me is it to make sure, see, there we go, we just got an air pocket down there. How important would it be to me knowing if my bulldozer is not working tomorrow in the field somewhere, doing something for somebody, am I making any money? The answer is no. So every single thing I've done to this Jeep so far is all maintenance not done, or lack of maintenance because I don't care, because I got more money than brains, I don't know. But that's what's happening. I'm fixing stuff that nobody really cared to fix. So I'm just going to try it. I need it to pop, and then it will draw it in. Because that's how this boot's going to move. See how I'm moving it? Up and down, this boot is going to move like an accordion. So you want it to suck that grease all the way down there. And I don't fill that tube and then shove it on, because you know what? You end up wearing it and it's everywhere, and you're trying to work with it and it ain't working. You just got to be patient, because it's ribbed. And you got to get the grease into the ribs. So just keep stuffing it down there. Stuffing it in. And it'll go. It's time consuming, but you want to use, Spicer has good products, so you want to use the grease they've given you, because it's made to the viscosity. Because the way this works is, notice there's no grease fitting on this yoke. I have yokes on our FJ Cruiser, and they have grease fittings. This is your greaser right here, this bellows. So when the yoke is coming up and down, because it is, as you're driving, it's moving, the yoke is moving, longer, shorter. For every time you go over a hole, the wheels go down, it's going to get shorter. It has to get shorter. So when when one wheel goes up and the other one goes down, it's got to get longer. So it's moving this bellows up, then down, then up, then down. So the grease, see how the grease is traveling up the splines? So when the yoke is moving back and forth like this, it's taking grease back with it to keep it completely greased. So the boot has to be able to go all the way up. It has to follow it. It has to go with it. See what I'm saying? It has to go with it. So now we got this thing up here. Are you still here? Okay. All right, so now we're going to be able to get some more in there. See, it's disappearing for me. So we just push it down, get it in there. Now you got the power, and you don't want to pull this off at this point because you've got it lined up. If you pull it off, then to find your spline and your mark at the other end, you're going to have to squash this flat. Guess where the grease is going? Coming back out. So these are things you have to think about. These are the little things that can really tick you off when you're doing it. So I'm giving you all the secrets here. So pay attention. This isn't a hard job. It's just you got to do it right. Because otherwise you're going to be doing this job again. And I'm not into that. I'm not into the let's practice this time. Next time we'll get it right. Everybody makes mistakes, and that's okay. So we get some more grease in there. I really want more grease in there. I don't know if we're going to get all this in there, but I need to get as much as I can in there. I need a good quaff of grease. So let's see if we can't come up with some kind of happy plan here. I'll have to squeeze that tighter yet. Yeah, it's got to go tighter. There we go. Did you hear that air? That's what you got to get out of there. Got to get the air out. That's what I wanted to hear. So now I can get some more in there. We might not get all of this in, but try and get as much as you can in there. So now it's pulling it down again, which is what I want. So I'll just see if I can't push it down. Yeah. Because like I said, there's certain jobs, you know what, you just gotta take your time and take your time. Some guys will load that with grease. I won't do it because I know what happens. It just turns into you got a big globby mess on your hands. You end up with a big globby mess. And I'll tighten that up some more yet. So don't worry about that. Don't be concerned about that. That's why we have the pliers. We just want to make sure that this thing has plenty of grease. I don't think you're going to see all of it in there, but that's a lot of grease for a little tube. They're not skimpy. They're not skimpy on the skippy. Let's see if we can get that to bellows one more time. Come on. Do a little fart for me. This is where farting's good. When you're loading with grease. Okay, now we'll see if we can push some down there. This is what it takes. It almost looks like a jam. It almost looks like you could make a really nice jelly donut with it. But I think it would be good to look at, but not to eat. It's going to be one of those look but don't touch kind of things. So we got a little pocket here. Let's see how much we can ooze in there. I think if I can get half of that in here, it's a happy day. Like I said, if you fill this thing up, okay. Let's pause it there, and I will continue with this for a few minutes, and then we'll come back, and then I'll show you how to get the. We'll tighten the other clamp together and put the U-joint in. So don't go away. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, thank you for stopping by the Car Connection Workshop right here on YouTube. Don't forget to come back and join us for another segment. So like, share, tag, and follow, and ding that bell so that you don't miss a single edition of Car Connection. So till next time, keep it under 100 and put the coffee on, because we're coming to your house.